Well, if you need help placing your bets for today's race, horse racing enthusiast Dan Collins is joining us with some tips for handicapping your contestants. And although Mystic Dan might be the favorite, I feel like we have our own Mystic Dan right here. Ready to go with our advice for betting today.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's talk about the horses in this field.
Okay, let's go quick. Mugatu broke his maiden, hasn't done anything since. Next, Uncle Heavy. Mediocre showing, the Wood Memorial. Wood isn't what it used to be. I think is outclassed. Next, Catching Freedom ran really well in the Derby, got blocked, came on, could be a factor. Mystic Dan should have stayed to the Belmont. I think.
Oh, you think this was too quick for him?
He's only done it one time, came back 2 weeks, and was, as we say in the track parlance, up the track. So I'm not expecting him really to do all that well.
Okay.
Seize the Gray, I have a soft spot for him. Seize the Gray is a gray. I like gray horses. My father's most successful horse as an owner was a gray named Terry Knott. Also, Seize the Gray is part of the My Racehorse Consortium, which I'm actually also a part of.
Wait, so this is the one where everyone sort of buys into
Exactly.
it. So you're part owner of Seize the Gray.
Well, not me. Not
Okay.
me. My friend Teresa Wiseman is.
Yeah,
Hi, Teresa.
hey, Teresa.
But I am part owner of another Bob Baffert horse called Authentic Spirit.
Very
and
cool.
Authentic Spirit is a 2-year-old, and maybe I'll be here next year talking about him. So we'll see. Seize the Gray, not a bad horse, though finished 7th in a Grade 1 stakes. I think may run a little bit early, but I'm not sure he'll be there at the end. Just Steel ran a really weird race in the Derby, was up right there in the first half a mile and then finished 33 lengths back. Kind of erratic. I don't trust it. Tuscan Gold broke his maiden. That's been basically it. It's only ran 4 times. And then you have Imagination. And I think Imagination is going to be the horse to watch. I think his jockey, Frankie Dettori, is going to try to get him right out to the lead and try to set the pace. It's a good thing for a speed horse in and off track or muddy because he is the only horse that isn't having mud kicked in his face. And all things being equal, most horses don't like that. So if he can get out there, set the pace, he could do wire to wire. If not, then I think you're probably looking at Catching Freedom coming on, along with Mystic Dan, if he's feeling up to it, and then we might have a finish at the Preakness just like we had at the Derby, very, very close. So that's what I think.
We always talk about the trainers because, often we'll see the same trainers up there in the winner's circle. Bob Baffert, Dwayne Lucas, and, Kenny McPeek has had his share of turns in the winner's circle. So how much of a role is this going to play in the race?
In terms of the trainers?
Yeah, the
well,
trainers
are,
and their horses.
well, they're all good or these horses wouldn't be here. You want to make sure that the trainer has a good understanding of what his horse's strengths are, what his weaknesses are, what he's capable of, what he isn't capable of. But trainers sort of like the baseball manager. They're still the owner of the team, as it were. And the owner ultimately is going to be the one that's making the decision whether or not this horse should run or not. So, it's kind of depends a little bit on the owner too, what they want to do and what the trainer wants to do, and hopefully when you have a good relationship with the two of them working together, you have a good outcome.
Let's talk about the track. These tracks are really well maintained.
Yes, yes they are. They drain very, very well. The rain hasn't been too tremendous. We haven't had like a huge downpour. It's not a sloppy track where, like huge waves of mud hitting people in the face. I don't really think it'll be that bad today. So, it's not going to be perfect, but at the same time, it might be a track may be a little heavy. My father and I used to walk the track before we would go inside to get a feel of what it felt like under our feet. Was it a heavy feeling? Was it what my dad used to call cuppy? In other words, did it stick to your feet?
He's showing some pictures. Is that you?
Yeah,
Where's your
that's
dad?
my father on the far left in the check shirt, and that's Terry Knott. That was his probably most successful horse that he owned. He also did some training too.
And so your dad was a trainer?
Yeah, trainer and a owner. And he actually had a position with Maryland Racing, I believe. I thought he may have been a steward at one time as well. I just remember looking at all these IDs and everything that he had when I was a kid. But I spent a lot of my formative years going to the racetrack on the weekends with my father and a local handicapper, Ed Knapp, who sort of took me under his wing and sort of taught me a little bit about racing.
Tell you what, Dan, next year we're going to do a story together, and I want you to show me, because you have a lot of silks, you have this huge, rich history, so we're going to get into more of that next year. That's a preview for you. Dan, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. I always look forward to your insights.
Not a problem. Anytime.
All right.